First of all, I wrote some points that we have produced. I can skip this in BISON, and one, perhaps the most important, is do not forget before beginning the think tank that we are living with these two major trends, which is climate change effects and biodiversity loss. We are increasing temperatures. We are in Europe. We are having also less precipitation. We have huge problem on biodiversity. So this is the biggest scenario that we must never forget. Then we have also talked about the opportunity. We are also living and trying to move fast for decarbonization, which means more automated systems, which mean deadlines for the use of fuel engines. But this is also bringing a big opportunity because railways is playing a key role. We have already seen the huge budgets that are going to be invested in this transport mode. So this will give us opportunity to invest it in the good direction also. We have been talking also about that we have more and more catastrophic events that are harming our these natural hazards that obligate us to sometimes rebuild the infrastructures or to upgrade. And we are preparing this resilience. We have already seen these climate adaptation plans, another opportunity to do the things in different ways and to work together to mainstream biodiversity also in these plans. We have, of course, talked about invasive species, big problems not only for railways operators, but also for the conservation of the ecosystem surroundings in this. These are some slides are in the some of the deliverables that are already in the BISON website, so you can know more about. Another trend that is very important and to be considered is that in Europe, we have this phenomena called the rewilding. We have more forests, particularly in the Mediterranean areas, but not only. We have increasing population of large carnivores. We are very happy, but we must provide them with connectivity. And also we have this challenge, a traffic issue, when we have these wild boars, roe deers entering in our infrastructures. But all these, and here I move to the contributions, we have also this European Green Deal, and particularly the European strategy, my colleague has just talked about it, that is setting some targets for 2030, not so far away, when we are asked to restore ecosystem, to reduce chemical pesticides and fertilizers, to reverse pollinator decline. I've chosen some highlights only, to reduce the threat of invasive alien species, and to promote nature-based solutions. And this has been our first question that we have discussed. How can nature-based solutions contribute to enhance infrastructure resilience and biodiversity conservation? Here, first question has been, what is nature-based solution really? What are we talking about? Yeah, we have talked first about, well, there is Thomas shop that have been helping to, well, the two Thomas that will contribute to produce this resume. I will try to do my best to don't forget anything. If I forget, please help me. So we have first talk about the opportunities in drainages. First, when we have these big retention ponds that we need to construct in some areas, and also in some places we need to construct bigger drainages. So these are opportunities to have biodiversity in these areas, or to provide fauna passages also. We have talked about the use of bioengineering also to stabilize embankments. Don't think only about concrete. We can also have plants that help us to stabilize. We have also thought about if we need to cut trees, because in some areas the wind is well, we have problems with the trees, let's say in brief. Then perhaps we will have the opportunity to restore vegetation, to plant endangered herbs or shrubs or plants that help pollinators, yeah, to produce refuges also for these animals. So and also don't forget to buildings. In the railway stations, we can introduce green roofs, green walls. So a lot of opportunities where we can have biodiversity benefits and also benefits for people and infrastructure. We have also seen a lot of opportunities in the management of road verges and other areas associated with operated by railways, owned by railways. We have talked about the need to not use pesticides. We will see an excellent presentation later about that, how you are adapting maintenance practices. But also a very important message from us is this: how to manage the verges and these areas are strongly site dependent. So don't look just at the railway, look at the surrounding landscape, because we will have opportunities, for example, that we can provide habitats for animals and plants in artificial areas, in urbanized areas that perhaps are not so good when you are crossing the countryside, and you must overall try to not make any damage to the surrounding landscape. Also an important remark, it's very different when we are dealing with new, for example, the high-speed railways, or when we are dealing with upgrading railways, or in old, small railways that need to be preserved and try to not affect the surrounding landscape, yeah? The need, well, we have also seen these situations, for example, in the south of Spain, in Andalusia, and also in dry areas, where, the infrastructure is like, well, in these drainages, we have habitats where the toads are breeding inside the surface managed by the railway operators. So there are opportunities, but there are also risks to create ecological traps, to attract animals to areas where are not good for them or for the infrastructure. So another keyword here was training, the need to train, the need to share knowledge between the technical staff, also the crew, the maintenance crew, yeah. And the last but very important is this landscape perspective, yeah. I've already talked about it, but another important thing that we have talked about is that if we provide, for example, in this case, we have the opportunity to apply defragmentation to create these new corridors, to restore also the connections with the surrounding habitats, yeah. This is here. The fragmentation is an opportunity, but also we have had an interesting message that we must try to break the silos, to work together, also with the land owners of the surrounding land, yeah, and that if we provide multi-use actions, let's say actions or like structures that can be used by to provide corridors for wildlife, but also perhaps we can provide pedestrian paths for people. if we go through multi-use, perhaps it will be easier to work together and to invest budget in the best ways. I don't know, sorry for being so fast. I don't know if I have forgot some important things, Thomas and Thomas, no? Okay, okay. So I think it's all from my side. Now we will have an opportunity to ask. Thank you.